Etsy sellers. Wow. Have we got a huge announcement for you guys today? And we will be unveiling it all within the next couple of minutes here on episode 15 of Sellers Unfiltered Live with myself, James, and my good friend and fellow full-time online seller, Paul, who joins us now. Hi, mate.
Mate, how are you today? Really exciting, isn't it?
Really, very, very exciting. We've got a huge announcement to make, haven't we?
Massive.
Which we're going to be doing very, very soon. Well, first question from me: Have you slept since Sunday?
Mate, do you know what? I've been thinking about it all the time, and I'll be like, can't wait! So excited.
And I think you might have a little bit of a rant of the week at me this week because it nearly didn't happen.
Yeah, and so weird. Isn't it so weird how it turned? Because you're normally the organised one. Well, you are organised. To be fair, you weren't anticipating that thing to drop in your mailbox, was you?
I wasn't. Should we just announce it?
Yeah, go on. I want you to do it, mate, because you've done all the hard work.
Right. Well, here's the thing. 17th of September, 2:25 p.m. UK time, here live on this channel. This is happening. That's right. We have got Nick, aka the Etsy consultant, coming on our live show that week. Wow. Paul, talk to me.
Mate, that's how good is that? I mean, we did a show, didn't we, a few weeks about different people who the gurus and the people who claim to know what they were doing, and Nick came up, and we're really big fans of him, especially me. I love him. He really helped me, especially in January. So to go and have a chat with him on a podcast, it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, well, it starts here, because if anybody out there sells on Etsy or would like to sell on Etsy and has got any questions for the Etsy consultant, let us know. Let us know in the comments, or now we're checking our email box. You can email us too, can't they, mate?
Yeah. So are you going to tell them about that little story, James?
Oh, it's embarrassing. Before I tell the story, about how the Etsy consultant came to agreeing to come on our show. First of all, listen, let's get this out of the way. Yes, we use AI for stuff like this. Of course we do. We're too busy selling for anything else. So I know some people hate this sort of stuff, but we use it. Right. So the final slide on this today, before we crack on with the rest of our show, we want to explain to people why it's such a big deal. So if you sell on Etsy, you should know who the Etsy consultant is. You really should, especially if you're watching us on YouTube. You definitely will have seen hit some of his videos or his lives. This is why it's such big news. I actually don't know, mate, because I haven't shown you this, whether you know all of this. What do you make of that?
I mean, that's impressive when you read all them. I mean,
that's unbelievable, isn't it? So it works with, well, you can see there, it works with over 100 Etsy stores at any one time. I mean, the amount of revenue that some of the stores do that he works with is incredible. I mean, we think we're fairly successful, but that's unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, do you know what, James? It sounds a little bit naff, mate. But mate, I've only got I've got you as a mentor, and you helped me a lot, especially at the beginning. And then online, there's so many different people throw advice at you. But yeah, I'm not just saying this, and you can go back to the shows. He's the one that I genuinely look to, and you put me onto him that I listen to for help and guidance, how to improve my shop on Etsy, and it genuinely did work. It really did. So I started listening in to get properly, consistently in January, and it was about listings, and it was about keeping busy, and it was about filling in, like you said, that was about filling in stuff and making everything look presentable. And my store's up now, I think 33%. by just taking in self and your and Nick's advice?
It's well, here's the story. In fact, let's just have. So I've got a couple of videos to share today on this show. Now we've not done that before, so if it goes wrong, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. So let's just have. I'm going to try and put a video on now, and we're going to have a little walk down memory lane. So hopefully people can hear this. You might have to turn it up. Let's just have a little walk down memory lane.
You can sort because you get straight to the point. I like that.
Yeah. Do you know what, mate? Oh, I'd love to get him on here one day. Imagine if we grow to an extent where he knows who we are, and we get him on it. That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? It'd be unbelievable. Yeah. He's your hero, anyway.
I love him, mate. I think, mate. Do you know? I'll let you do this. And I'll tell you a bugbearer with YouTubers, especially who do this. And the ultimate proof, James, is try the strategy. Give it a time scale, and see, do you get an uptick or a downtick? Now, I stuck to his advice, and it me. Now, in one word, and your data suggests so as well.
Yeah, but I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Well, this is a problem, mate. With a lot of sellers, you can't bear to think that you're in the wrong, can you? Do you watch Etsy coaches on YouTube? Well, we know that I do, because we just talked about why I do it sometimes. Just passes the time, doesn't it? Entertaining, and you might pick up something.
I've said yes and no because you said coaches.
So your board's really bright. I can see it just about. Yeah, yes. Anyway, top so yes and no.
So I've done yes and no, James, because you've made it plural and said coaches. I just listened to the one, the man, the king.
The one, the man, the king.
Oh, mate, I'm going to cringe if he watches that now.
Mate, just very quickly, I'm not sure if anybody watching it back will have seen that video in its completeness, because it was a little bit dodgy this end, and I'm getting all kinds of message from StreamYard thrown at me saying your laptop's failing, it's delayed. So apologies if there was a little bit of a delayed sound on that video, but we don't care, do we, mate? Got the Etsy consultant coming on.
No, mate, no, it's really good. And I like how you just back that you just haven't. I didn't know you were doing that. Then them little clips. So that was really good. Just to say that. Listen, we did have a chat about that. How much we'd love to have him on the show. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
Now I've got 2 videos loaded up for today. That was one of them. I've removed that from the studio. So I've all the messages that I was getting have gone now. So hopefully it's plain sailing. It's smooth from here on in. But it starts now, doesn't it? What are you going to ask him?
I don't. I'm really nervous about this. So I'm going to really think. I think I'm gonna just listen to. I think I'm just going to listen and just base me questions off about what he's talking about, and not have anything too planned. To be honest, too rigid.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be
my experience about what happened to me and listening to him. So I'll definitely talk to him about that.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a fantastic, it's going to be the best show we've ever done. And probably, mate, let's be honest, it's probably going to be the best show we'll ever do. Let's be honest. Yeah. Now, it's going to be a funny one because on this show, me and you talk far too much, probably. I mean, sometimes when I watch it back, even I'm like, Christ's sake, shut up. But, just get on with it. So when he's on here, we're really going to have to rein it in because obviously people are going to be wanting to watch him and listen to what he has to say. So we're going to have to be quite concise, aren't we? It's going to be difficult. And also, normally, what happens on this show is you say something and I tell you you're wrong, and and I'm the authority on Etsy. Now, as we've talked about before, you sell a lot on Amazon, don't you? So I know a little bit more about Etsy. But when he's on here, mate, you're going to love it. You're going to love it because all the things that I've been preaching about Etsy, imagine if he comes in here and just says, nah, you're wrong.
Yeah. But that's good. It creates discussion, and it creates that. Then, but I'll share one more story that would have bore you. You said how's things going, mate, and I said, things are a bit slow. So I'm sitting in Wetherspoons, and I'm made 30 listings, and I've just put them on Etsy. And you went, no, you don't do that. You don't do that. I went, why? And you went, you drip feed it in. And then you sent me his video, and then he explained why. And then ever since that, I've been drip feeding the listings in, and it really has worked.
That's worked for you. Yeah. Well, I want to just touch very quickly on how it came to be that he's agreed to come on our show, and a couple of things. So first of all,
Hang on, James. I need to interrupt you. I just want to tell everyone about So
this rant of the week.
Right. No, yeah, hang on. Me and James used to work together, if anyone doesn't know, and James was my boss. And the amount of stick and the amount of grief and the amount of telling off I used to get off him for not replying to emails or checking me messages, and it used to do his head in, and he used to get so angry. So anyway, what's your story, James?
Is that it? You're going to leave it there? I've got a flight.
Let you tell the rest.
I've got a flight. Anyway, so we did that show on Etsy Online Coaches. It's our 5th episode. It's about 10 weeks ago now, and we joked on the show how we'd love to get Etsy, we'd love to get Nick. We need to stop, mate. We need to start calling him Nick because he's going to be coming on here. We're going to be just calling him Mr. Etsy Consultant. We talked about how we'd love to get Nick, aka the Etsy Consultant, on the show. We were joking about it, really, weren't we? Because we're such a small channel. And I said that I was going to comment in a couple of his videos just for a laugh. And basically, I commented in one of his videos about possibility of him coming on here, and I said about how it's not going to be great exposure for him, and when we grow maybe to a little bit of a bigger size, we'll come back and see if he's able to come on. And he emailed us probably about 2 or 3 days after the comment, and that was on the 31st of July, and I did not see the email until Friday last week. That's over 3 weeks. That email was sitting in our inbox. We were here doing 4 live shows, and we had no idea that he was willing to come on our show. So basically, I set an email address up just literally so we could stream YouTube live shows. And now we know people are emailing it. I'm going to check it every day. So basically, I think that's so I got back to him, obviously, and what a testament to the fella, because can you imagine that, mate? You're one of, if not the biggest consultants when it comes to selling on Etsy in the world, and you email a couple of lads who've got a tiny YouTube channel offering to come on, and they don't reply to you for over 3 weeks. And then when I replied to him, he replied again really quickly. There was no thinking, they're not, they've ignored me for 3 weeks, or they couldn't be bothered replying to me. I actually commented on one of his Instagram posts, and he replied saying, "You've not, waiting for your reply to my email." And I was like, "Oh no." Anyway, it's happening. It is happening. Did we mention, mate? Etsy Consultants coming on.
It's going to be amazing. It is going to be amazing. 17th of September, 2:25 p.m. UK time. So that will be 9:25 a.m. USA New York time, which is a little bit later than normal, which is actually quite good because we might get some people from America who want to listen to what he's got to say. And the beauty of it is that he's very direct, he's no nonsense, so he will say it how it is. And because he's coming on our show and it's not just one of his videos, we get to delve a little bit deeper into some of the things that he advocates for, and some of the things that he says and some of his guidance. And we get to delve a little bit deeper and ask a couple of questions, maybe under the surface, that we don't all maybe get to see on his videos. So that's going to be amazing. Right. How do we move on from that? We're going to have to, though, aren't we? So we're going to move on. Let's turn our attention to today's show. So this is today's show. It's going to be fairly relaxed today. So anybody who's new here, myself and Paul, we both have separate businesses, and we both sell it's our full-time job, and we both sell small
personalised handmade items on eBay, Etsy, and Amazon. And every week on these live shows, we tend to alternate between selling platforms. So we either have an eBay week or an Amazon week. And every now and again, we'll have a general week, won't we, mate? Where it's even more laid back than normal, where we talk about something general that might be of interest to people who sell online, who are thinking of selling online. So this week is a general week, and this is what today's show is going to look like. We're going to have a very quick review of the milestone targets that we've been setting for ourselves over the last few weeks. So I've set one for me and Laura. So me and Laura run our business together. That's my wife. We've set targets for eBay and Etsy, and we set one for Amazon for you, didn't we, mate? So just have a very quick review, and then moving forwards on the specific week, we'll delve a little bit deep and see how we're getting on with the targets. And the idea is it just gives people who are watching a little bit of an idea about where we are in our selling journey. Then we're going to do a quick update. Mate, I've got a push through the week. We actually didn't talk about it, did we, today before the show? But I've got one, and I think it's going to be a favourite for you. We'll have a top tip, and then the main topic today is a day in the life. A day in the life of an online seller. So we're going to go through our days pretty much yesterday, what we did, and the timeline. And we've got some video. I've got a video to show. I'm hoping that the stream stays stable and that people can see the video properly. I think they will be able to. And we're going to show a little bit about, what we do and how we do it. We'll finish with quick fire questions before preview on next week. Right, so let's just have a quick review of the milestone targets that we set. So if anybody's missed the last few weeks, we'll just review them now. What are you smirking at?
I'm listening. We've got a couple of comments as well. I'm just reading through.
Oh, can you see the comments? Can you?
Yeah, for the first time ever. So Rugby Blink 182 is really excited about next week.
No, not next week, mate. He doesn't want to listen to us.
Yeah.
He's excited about the 17th of December, or what? 17th of September. Well, it might be a she. He or she is excited about the 17th of September. Is that what you were smirking at? Right, milestone targets. So this is what we set ourselves. So eBay, we talked about eBay being out of the three platforms, the one that we sell least on. It's really been poor for both of us the last couple of years. So I've set a milestone target for myself and Laura that from the August the 1st this year to next year, we want to improve our organic sales by 50%. I've got a big update on that for our next eBay show, which is actually next week, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's exciting. Now, I think the biggest target that any of us have set is the Etsy one. So we've been selling on Etsy for 8 years, and next year is the 10th anniversary of our first ever online sale. And our target is to get to £1 million turnover by that date. So that's obviously an exciting one. And your target, mate, is to improve your year-on-year sales on Amazon by 25%, isn't it? So by the end of this year, we'll know if you've hit your target or not. So that'll be the first one that we look at. And do you know when we're going to announce whether you've done it or not?
When's that?
We're going to announce it on our special end-of-year show.
Brilliant.
Which is brewing. We're quite excited. We're not excited about that as we are, obviously, the 17th of September, but we're going to have an end of year show this year. It's probably going to be between Christmas and New Year, isn't it? Where everybody doesn't know what day it is, and we're all eating turkey sandwiches.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have some guests on that show. Actually, we're gonna have a bit of fun. And on that show, we'll announce. It won't quite be the end of the year, but we'll know if you've hit your target. So we'll do it that year. Right. What's next? Let's have a look. Selling update. There's an update. I mentioned this update a few weeks ago, and I half joked about it, but it's actually not. It's not funny. It's a Royal Mail update. Oh, bloody Royal Mail. And I joked about it, and I ripped up the letter on live on the show, and I threw it on the floor because they sent us a letter about it. But if you do sell online, you do need to be aware of this, and it's this. So Royal Mail announced this a few weeks ago now, which I think's crazy. I think it's nuts. So what they've announced, Royal Mail, is if you have business collections, so if you've got a Royal Mail business account and they come to your property and they collect your mail every day, they have announced that during the Christmas period, and basically to them, that means throughout November and December, they are going to limit the capacity of what they can take away from you. Now, so basically what they're saying is whatever they normally collect from you as an online seller, or maybe even not as an online seller, just anyone with a business account, they come and collect mail from you. They're saying during November and December, when it's the busiest time of year for us, obviously, busiest time of year for them, they are not going to collect more than 3 times the normal capacity of mail. So they've announced, if you look at this graphic, they've announced that if you normally send in 10 Yorks of mail a day to Royal Mail, and a York is one of those, so it's one of those like metal wireframe containers that people fill with sacks. They're not going to collect more than 30 a day in November and December. If they normally collect 1 trailer, they're not going to collect more than 3 trailers. What they haven't done is announced the specifics like they have with those bigger volumes. They haven't announced any specifics with smaller sellers, smaller volume. So I'm wondering whether this is literally just going to be for those big volume collections, and smaller sellers like us will go under the radar. What do you think?
The wording's a bit strange. I mean, how do they? I mean, when they say you're normal, does that mean what the person who comes to your house, the postman on the day, comes out and goes, actually, you normally have this, so we're not taking that?
Well, that's the thing. Nobody knows.
It's very open.
Yeah, so small sellers like us are scratching our heads. The thing that worries me a little bit, I think really that they're giving this message to the bigger guys, the people that send trailers, the people that send Yorks. So yesterday we sent about 7 or 8 sacks out. Now they weren't full, but we have to put different delivery methods in different sacks. But we send about 7 or 8 sacks a day. So are they safe now? Because the problem is we got the letter as well. Now, if it was just for the larger sellers, would they surely not have just sent that information to the larger sellers? Or if they just blanket sent it out, even though it's not really going to apply to us? Because during Christmas, we could potentially have days where we are wanting more than 3 times our normal daily collection to go. So if we normally do 6 or 7 sacks, there are going to be days potentially where we might have 20 sacks. They're going to turn around and say, we're only taking, 15, 18 sacks, so those have to stay here. That's mental, isn't it?
I'm a little bit worried for this Christmas. I'm not going to lie, because I'm getting feedback off customers about letters being 10 to 12 days late. And
as always,
happening nearly every day. And I'm hearing stories. And I dropped some mail off yesterday, a couple of sacks, and I may or may not have heard 2 disgruntled employees that may or may not have worked for the Royal Mail, just saying how not good it is at the moment with the new system with second-class mail, and how they think that the customers aren't getting a great experience. I was very surprised because the postman, they were using that language of customer experience, and they were genuinely worried about their deliveries and about mail not getting to the customers, and customers are asking, is this came yet? Is this came we're expecting? So what's it going to be like in November and December? I'm genuinely worried, and that worries me, that what you just posted as well, because if people have got large amounts of mail to send to Royal Mail, well, that means more revenue coming into Royal Mail.
Yeah.
And if you can't deliver that, you're just going to lose revenue and we're just going to use different couriers. So,
sorry, mate, to interrupt you, but some people might not know this, but during the Christmas period, and I think it's November and December again, they actually charge us more to send mail than the rest of the year because they have like a Christmas surcharge for every item of mail we send. Now, it might apply to everyone, but it definitely applies to us. So you kind of have to look at your costings again for November and December and make sure that, I think it's only a few extra pence, but it all adds up, as we know. It's just a pain that you have to just check your costings again to make sure that Christmas surcharge is included. And have you ever known a business that when the quantity goes up, you have to pay them more? Because normally you get a quantity discount, don't you? If you buy in something off another business or a supplier. So, and also they're limiting the amount you can send. So I know it's difficult for them because they may be in a position where they don't know exactly how much extra mail comes in. Well, they should do, because how many years have they got the stats for? That tells me that the number of extra staff that they're going to take on over Christmas is going to be enough to process 3 times the normal level of mail and no more, which is the most worrying thing. Because even if they come and collect it and they turn a blind eye to whether it's ×3 capacity or not of the normal level, when it leaves here, what's going to happen to it if they've only got enough staff to deal with 3 times the normal mail? Do you know what I mean?
And what's worrying that is I can imagine the Christmas period, I can imagine them to be processing more than 3 times the required amount, because Christmas is crazy. So I don't think it's just going to be 3 times as busy. I can imagine it being 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, our plan, I know you don't get collections. You take it down to the depot, don't you? Yeah. You don't actually get Royal Mail business collection. So we get a collection every day. Our plan, if I'm honest, is literally whatever the capacity, whatever we're putting out there, we're just going to put it out there and see what happens. Now, we actually put it outside in a box and the person comes and collects it. We don't really have any face-to-face contacts anymore with the person that collects it. It's just easier. It's easier to just stick it in the box. They know where it is. We leave our paperwork. They take it. It's done. So I'm hoping that every single day during Christmas period, when I open that box to check if it's gone next morning or late at night, hopefully it's all gone and there's not like 2 or 3 sacks left behind because of this ridiculous policy we've got.
It's really disappointing, James. Because I can't remember the last time I've heard something positive about the Royal Mail, and it was just such a beloved company, the Royal Mail in this country, and so well known. And the staff that work at Royal Mail even today are brilliant, but it just seems to me that the higher ups are just getting it so wrong at the moment.
Yeah, well, there's been a big change with the ownership, hasn't there? It's been a big change.
And it's not just a rant from a seller. I'm hearing customers the customers who buy off me are siding with myself and just saying they've noticed how Royal Mail aren't delivering a great service at the moment. It's just so disappointing.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. The reason you might have noticed I've been looking away, I've just been checking. I'm looking for my customer of the week. I found him. Right, I found him. It's customer of the week time, mate. Anyone that's new, we talk about specific. Well, we don't obviously mention any names or there's no identifiable features. It's just a funny little story that we tell every week. Well, actually, it might be a nice story. It might be a quirky story. There's always something, isn't there, mate, online that we can talk about every week. There's always one customer that gives us something that's out of the ordinary to talk about. I've got one this week, mate. This is your right. I'm going to read you a bit of feedback that we were left on Etsy. It's an Etsy customer. They've bought an item from us, right? They've left a review. I'm going to read the review and then I'm going to ask you to guess why they're customer of the week. You got that?
Yeah,
right.
go on.
Here's the review. James and Laura were absolutely amazing with their customer service. I had some difficulties with my order as it didn't arrive on time. So I messaged them to let them know. It's quite a long review. They kindly explained what had happened and said that if it didn't arrive by the end of the day, I should let them know and they would send a new one out to me with next day delivery. I don't actually think we said that, but anyway. Thankfully, they kept their word and my new order arrived the very next day. Thank you so much to James and Laura for being such amazing and talented people. You can really see how much care and effort you put into making these gifts for the people we care about the most. I would definitely recommend them. Thank you again. And she's littered the review with like heart emojis, smiling emojis. Now that is probably, I would say that's the best review we've had all year on Etsy. So why is she customer of the week?
Because it's your mum, isn't it?
No. Mate, my mum does not talk like that. Trust me.
Go on.
Why are they customer of the week?
I have no idea.
Delve deep into your the new words that you've created, your bugbearers.
Oh, the people who do 4-star reviews, is it?
4 stars.
Oh.
4 stars. Do you know what? It's probably not even the best review we've had all year. It's probably the best review we've ever had on Etsy because it's long. She names us. She talks about a number of issues that we dealt with. There's emojis all over the shop with amazing, talented people. Do you reckon she should give us 4 stars because the original item didn't turn up on time? Or do you reckon she just pressed the wrong button?
I hope so. You can't leave such a glowing review like that and give 4 stars.
Oh, yeah. Well, the good news is, mate, as we know, I know it's not ideal, but Etsy does say that a 5 or a 4-star review is considered to be positive. So it's considered positive. Now, the problem is if everybody did that, your average rating will be bloody 3.9, 4.0 instead of the 4.95 that you want.
Well, you told me something that I didn't really understand for a while, but you said if I think you used to get reviews on Amazon, and if it was like a 4-star and you could, you'd ask them to remove it, didn't you?
Right. I would always, I always used to check what had happened, and like obviously I did it in the right way because you've got to be very careful with asking people to change their reviews.
No, I think you just applied on the actual site, and you just
I see what you mean.
Strike it through.
Oh, right. You can ask Amazon. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I see what you mean. Right. So so every 5-star review you get, obviously you leave it alone or you reply, thank you very much. Anything below that, I used to try and get it struck through by Amazon, and they used to strike some through because it's robots, it's automated, and sometimes you can sort of get it. But then I realized actually you should probably just leave the 4-star ones up because Amazon, I think, and Etsy both consider those to be positive. Yeah. So anyway, mate, I knew that was one of your bugbears, and the 4-star.
That will annoy me all day. That
a 4-star review. Right, top tip this week. As we know, it's a general week. We're not talking about a specific platform throughout the show. So my top tip this week, it's something that. Did you ever watch The Apprentice with Alan Sugar or not?
A little bit. I wasn't a massive viewer.
Not a massive fan. I remember him saying this, and this is one of his top tips. You should probably call it bloody Alan Sugar's top tip of the week. And it's this, and it applies to all online sellers, especially ones that us. What are you doing there, mate? On that.
Look at me grey wings on me hair.
Grey wings, fantastic. I'm not having it that people slate AI. Listen, if you've got no time, just it's fine. It's a bit of fun. It's do no harm. Right, smell what sells. Smell what sells. Right. Now, let's not confuse this. I'll tell you what I don't mean before I tell you what I do mean. And again, we're not coaches. We're not consultants. By the way, did we mention?
Nice. Stop it
Right,
if he's watching. We need to look serious in case he's watching.
Right. Yeah, we're here to just give our honest experience, our honest, what we think about selling online, which we do. We do it full time, so we've got a little bit of experience and knowledge. So what I don't mean by smell what sells is, if you sell, say, now we probably were guilty of used to do this, and we don't do it anymore. So if we sold a design that sold, we kind of used to stick it on everything. Do you know what I mean? We used to, like, if we sold a coast that sold really well, we would take the design off that, we'd stick it on loads of other products. I don't mean do that, because I actually don't think that works, and we don't do that anymore. What I mean is, and I'll give an example. This time last year, in fact, probably about 15 months ago, we started to sell greeting cards. We hadn't sold them before. We just tried. We started selling them, and over the past 15 months, we've had quite a lot of success with them, which has been obviously on its own a really positive thing. But I would say over the past 15 months, there's one specific occasion that we've sold greeting cards for more than another one. There's one specific card that took off, and it was like a happy retirement greeting card. So what I'm getting at is, so greeting cards is quite a big genre. There's loads of different things you can do. Obviously, you can do birthdays, you can do specific birthdays like 18th, 21st, which we do. You can do retirement, you can do anniversary, you can do loads of stuff, can't you? You can do loads of stuff. Yeah. Happy congratulations on your wedding. So what I'm saying is, the one that's took off probably the quickest, well, it's probably another one, but I'm just going to give one example. The one that took off the quickest for us after we listed it and sold really regularly was a happy retirement one. So what we should be now doing is listing, I would say, 3, 4, 5, 6 different happy retirement greeting cards, not this, different designs, and just lean into the happy retirement greeting card niche. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm not saying take the design off that card and put it on everything. I'm saying retirement cards have sold really well. We only listed one design. Let's now list 5, 6, 7, 8 different retirement cards, because obviously Etsy thinks we sell retirement cards well, and anything we list that's basically a retirement card, hopefully you would think that they would push it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting at, really. So if you sell gifts, obviously we can only talk about our own experience. So we sell gifts, and we sell now greeting cards. So I'm talking about recurring recipients and occasions, as I've put there. So if you notice, and also this is where I pay attention to reviews, because sometimes you don't know why people are buying an item. So if they're starting to put reviews like, oh, this made a really good birthday gift, and then somebody else puts, this made a really good birthday gift, then you're thinking, people are buying this because they're using it for a birthday gift. So we're going to start selling more things that are literally, and start putting birthday gift in the tags and sort of steering it towards the birthday gift market. That's what I'm getting into. Does that make sense?
It does. And when you finish that, I've got an opinion about this. It's I asked ChatGPT about this. I'm trying to think about it now. So in January, when things were really slow and I needed to up my game, and I needed a good strategy on about improving stuff, I asked it a question and said, should I do different variations of my best sellers, or should I think of new products? What's the most efficient thing? And it actually gave advice that I wasn't expecting, and I actually never followed. And it was, if you've got say your best listings is a pair of scissors, and it's selling really well, don't list different variations of it, come up with a new one. And I didn't really get the logic on that, to be honest with you. So I ignored it, and I just made different variations, and it's worked. So I don't really know where AI came in for that, but luckily I did ignore it, and I got an uptick in sales.
Right. Okay. So when you say different variations, so that pair of scissors there, for example, are you saying that's a black pair of scissors with a little red bit on the handle? Are you saying you would then go on to list the exact same scissors but with a blue handle and with a yellow handle, or Or do you mean you just list lots of different types of scissors?
Yeah, so it might be longer, bigger handle, left.
That's what, yeah.
Like that. I mean, stuff like colours, I can add that into the listing.
Yeah.
I don't have to make that. But like different shapes, different sizes. So the stuff I was selling, like it was like different backgrounds on my items.
That's what I'm saying as well. So I think we're on the same page. Where if something starts selling well, don't look at the design and think I'm going to stick that on everything. Yeah. Look at who's buying that item. What are they buying it for? And can you list more items along that same line? A bit like what I'm saying about the retirement card. Can we now list loads of different designs that are different to each other, but are still retirement cards? Yeah. So, and I think that's where a lot of people who first start selling online, and this is where, going back to the Etsy consultant, this is where I like his list one a day advice. Because if you're listing one a day at the start of your store, you can start looking at the stats. You can start having a look at what people are sort of, even if it's just favoriting and you haven't sold anything yet, and what's getting most views, you can start to see what direction really you should be taking your next batch of listings, your next 10, or your next 20. And then you can sort of, smell what sells and start leaning into it. Yeah, so that's the
thing you say about that, mate. When you first started your business, I always remember this. I came to your house and to see you, and we went into your office, and you actually had that mantra on the whiteboard. Smells.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and it stuck. And I asked you about it, and then you gave me advice about that technique. So that's always stuck with me. That.
Yeah. Do you know what? We haven't got a whiteboard anymore in our workshop, we call it. I might get one.
Yeah, it changed. Sometimes you had statistics. You went through a stats era, then you had a quotes era, then it just evolved.
Well, if I was the number one Etsy consultant in the world, I'd probably invest in a brand new spanking ceramic, non-reflective, lovely, clean, big, huge whiteboard, because that's what he's got now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just invested. We've got this. We've got
a cleaner version.
We've got one of them. Now, the reason we like our whiteboards, don't we? Because if anybody missed our first show where we talked about where we come from before we sold online, we used to be football coaches for the FA, didn't we?
You did.
And do you remember? Yeah. So whiteboards was one of the things that we were very much encouraged to use, because of obviously people have different learning styles, and your whiteboard would hit the visual. So yeah, that's why we've got those. Right. Let's move on, mates. The main topic of the day, which is the day in the life of an online seller. Now, we might not spend as long on this main topic as we normally do on a main topic, because, excuse me, it's just a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun this week. If anybody's thinking about selling online, or they'd like to be a full-time online seller, this just gives you a little bit of an inkling into our day. That's not to say your day would look like this. So our days are very different, aren't they?
Mine's going to be a disgrace compared to yours.
Our days are very different. Now, I've got a video ready, and it's about 6 minutes long, and it's not one of those where people have to watch it and it's boring and nothing else is going on. There's no noise to it, so we can talk through it while the video's playing. And it basically shows you my day yesterday, pretty much from start to finish, and I can talk through the timeline and how many hours we do, etc., etc. But before we do that, did you do your homework? Did you note down roughly your working day yesterday?
Yeah, what's in here, mate?
What you did. I tell you what we'll do. We'll do my day, right? We'll do my day, and as we go through it, we'll compare any differences that you spot with your day yesterday.
No, I know you don't like my style of noting things down in my brain, but I actually do know what I did, so I'm all right.
Okay, fair enough. Right, now, apologies if this stream is slightly unstable. I think it's because we're showing videos for the first time ever. So just bear with us. I think it's okay. I think people can still see stuff, But if it cuts out or if it's a bit delayed for a couple of seconds, it's just something that's going to happen. So I'm going to add my video to the stage. I'm going to try and pause it. Well, I'll just take it back to the beginning. Right. So as I said, this video is going to show you my working day. So I'm going to play it and pause it as we talk. And if you've got any questions, mate, ask. I'm going to try and explain what I'm doing in these clips, why I'm doing it, and what the day looked like. So what's the first thing you notice, mate, on my video?
I don't believe you. Wait till what I will say, this is a disgrace. I think you do this just to make me look really bad.
So first of all, mate, have you noticed any differences to my working day to yours?
Yeah.
Now, what I will say, pal, there's a few things to say about. Obviously, we're talking about the 5:20 a.m. So Monday to Friday nowadays, I will tend to get up at 5:15. Now, I didn't this morning. So sometimes it doesn't happen. Now Thursdays are a little bit different for me because we do this, and I have a listing day on Thursdays, and Lord does our orders. So if I don't get up at 5:15, it's probably going to be a Thursday. And also sometimes I'll get up that early because I'll go and play paddle. So it's not always getting up that early to work, but in general, most of the time, Monday to Friday, 5:20 a.m. Now, also what I'll mention is I go to bed earlier than what I used to. I go to bed about 10 o'clock nowadays. I used to go to bed about 1 and get up at 7. So all that's happened is my day shifted. Right. So I'm up. This is yesterday. These are literally video. This is a video of everything I did yesterday. So Wednesday the 26th. So I was up at 5:20. Now that there that you can see, and I'm about to play it, that's our little workshop. That's our little workshop. So you can see that, and that's in the sort of the top of the screen, you can see our heat press. You can see, in fact, let's just play it on a bit. Right, so you can see the heat press on the right hand side. Now it's a bit blurry if I pause it, but that's fine. Mate, do you use a double screen like I do?
Do I use a what?
A double screen. So on my desk there, I've got my laptop and I've also got a monitor screen.
No.
Mate, I'm telling you now, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. Do you know why?
Go on.
Because for what me and you do, you know, when you're doing your designs,
yeah,
and you have to copy the personalization, because we sell mainly personalized gifts. When you have to copy the personalization from your Etsy order or your eBay order or your Amazon order, and you have to paste it into your Adobe Illustrator file, and people, if you don't know what we're on about, you'll see it in a minute. If you've got two screens, it's a lot quicker to do, because you can have your orders on one screen and your Adobe Illustrator on the other.
Wow, do you know what? That's such a small difference, but that would shave off 10-15 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah, do you see what I mean? And also, mate, those monitors there. Now, before I got one, because I'm not really that up on tech, I was thinking, oh God, I don't know how to set it up. It's really easy. It's really easy, and they're really cheap. So you want to look into that. Right, I'll let it go. So 5:20, I'm up. I'm up at 5:20. There I am. And I'm sat down and I'm ready. And I'm ready. Do you know what I'm looking at? What's the first thing I'm looking at 5:20 in the morning? Any idea?
I think it's your to-do list.
Spot on. It is my to-do list. It is my to-do list.
To-do list.
Yeah, it is my to-do. But before to-do list, I just want to, so just to illustrate for people the working day that I had yesterday. Now on a Wednesday, it's just me getting the orders out. It's just me getting the orders out. Laura's going to be up. You know, she's not up at 5:20, but during her working day, she's upstairs creating new designs and new products. She's also dispatching some orders, which I'll get into in a minute. Right, but what I'm showing you here is the screenshots of our sales from the previous day, so you can see how busy we were for this day. So on eBay, that's eBay. Obviously, we only sold 4 things on eBay. £24.96. So this is the Tuesday sales that I'm getting out for Wednesday. So that's eBay. That's Amazon. 40 orders, 242 quid's worth. So that's 44 orders so far. And Etsy, 48 orders, 525 quid. Right? So what's that? 44. There's 92 orders. So there's 92 orders to get out during the day. 5, 7. It's about 800 quid's worth. 800 quid's worth of orders. Right? So that was my working day yesterday, or certainly the priorities, because obviously your priority is to get your orders out. Right. Then I'm checking my to-do list. Right. And I don't want to bore people. That's my morning to-do list. The first thing in the morning, that's what I'm doing. Now, we're not going to worry too much about what's on it. I'm just showing you that I've got a to-do list. I religiously go through it every day. And I know people are different. And I know you haven't got one, have you?
No, don't.
It's in your head, isn't it? All in your head.
So the more pressing matters are on notes and then a pin to my laptop.
That's fair enough. And there's so I've got a morning to-do list. I've got a 1 or 2 p.m. These are the things, if it gets to 1 o'clock and I've not moved on to this yet, I have to move on to it because it's time to really get them orders out. And I've got a priority of the things that I get out first. So replacements is top of the list because they're people who haven't had their order and we've promised to send them a replacement, etc., etc., etc. Now, underneath that red line, there's things to do with listings. That's our listing plan, really. And that's almost like a nice to do. So there's a got to do, and then there's a nice to do if I get time to get onto it. I also have a monthly list. So every day I'll try and tick off one thing on our monthly list, which you'll see in a minute. So basically, I'm a list guy. You're not a list guy. I'm a list guy. So there's something different. There's my monthly. So straight away, there's a difference, isn't there? Different people work in different ways. Right. So I'm up at 5:20. I've checked my to-do list. 6:05 is when I'm starting to do my designs. Now, for people who don't know what we mean, we sell personalised gifts. So that on screen there is a template of one of our items that we sell. Okay, so it's a metal key ring and we sell it different colours and it's there ready to use if somebody orders it. So if somebody orders that, well, I'll show you what I do is I copy. Now you can't see, but I'm copying the personalisation from my other screen, my Etsy order. I'm going to put it onto the template here, paste it in. I'm going to make sure it all lines up properly. So whoever ordered that key ring obviously wants Ellie and Darren's caravan keys. They want it in that colour, and then I'm going to paste it on our sheet. So by the end of designs, as you know, mate, I've got loads of these sheets with the specific orders that need to go out for the day, ready to print. Ready to print. There I am. Right, so by 9:15 a.m, my designs are done. My designs are done. Now, what time are you up, mate? 7:45, 8 o'clock? No, be serious.
Right, 20 past 8, half past 8.
It gets later every time I ask you. So my designs are done. My designs are done by 9:15. You're probably just starting your designs around about now, would you say?
Right, well, this is difficult because I have a summer one because I've got Freddie with me and he's going through the pros. He's doing a Zoom session in the morning because he's doing an exam in September. So he's doing exam prep in the morning and he's actually using my laptop. So
what time are you starting your designs? Let's say a normal day. Forget that.
I have wrote it down. So it's 10:30.
Oh, 10th. Right. So, and this could be useful for anybody who wants to sell personalized gifts online and they don't already do it. And so we use a technique called sublimation.
Yeah.
We use sublimation, which effectively is using heat and pressure. So a heat press, you'll see the heat press there in the background. The heat press, you'll print out your designs on a special sublimation paper. You'll tape it to the blank, which we'll see in a minute, and you'll press it on the press. Right, so 9:15, my designs are done. So I'm now making stuff. Now, I'm going a little bit slow here for the purpose of the camera because I want to show people how we make something. So I've printed a design onto that piece of paper there that I'm cutting, and it's ready to be taped onto what we would call a blank. So a blank it's a product that we buy in that has nothing on it, and it's obviously ready for us to put the design on. So this is the blank that I'm going to show you now. It's basically like a linen type flag or a pennant or a sign or a banner, whatever you'd call it. So that there is what I'm going to print the design onto. Right. So we've printed the sheet, we've printed the design. I'm going to tape. I don't want to show you too much because I don't want to show anything away that you know for the customer. So I'm taping it onto the flag now, and then I'm going to put it on the heat press. And we're going to press it. Now, that's what sublimation is. Is that fair enough, mate? I've not missed anything out there, have I?
Yeah.
You design, you print it on the paper, you tape it like that to the item, you stick it on the heat press, and you press it. And basically what that heat press will do is it will put, I've already got one on there, look from earlier. It will put the design of that item onto that flag. So when you see it come out in a minute, you'll see the finished product. Is this similar? Is this basically what you do, mate? How you sort of do how you've got your setup?
Yeah.
So you've got it. Do you use those sheets, by the way? See that Teflon sheet on the heat press?
No, I don't.
Don't use them.
I should really, but I don't.
Now, for this item, I just put it on top because it's not really that important. Right, I fast forwarded through that. So that was 70 seconds on the press. Out it comes. There it is. It's now printed. Well, it's not printed. It's actually sublimated onto that flag, and that's how easy it is. If you want to sell with sublimation, it's all about the design, really. This is obviously a flag for someone's wedding. A page boy might carry it down the aisle. It's a bit of fun, a bit of banter, and this is why we're allowed to call ourselves handmade, because even though we haven't actually made the blank, we haven't made that flag. To get the design onto the flag. It's done by hand. It's done by hand. I've actually left the sound on that bit.
Yeah.
Right. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to just let this video play, mate. And while it's playing, talk to me about your day. So your designs, you're doing your designs at 10:30 in the morning. And then do you design everything and then make it like I do? Or do you design and make at the same time?
So I've started my designs at 10:30.
Right.
I enjoy. This is one of my favourite parts today because I like to do it sitting down. You do everything standing up. I sit down on my couch. I've got my desk on my knee. I put my favourite podcast on. I listen to stuff and then I start my designs at 10:30.
Yeah. Okay. So you design everything. So you take all your personalization off your orders. You stick it in your design software. Then you print it like me, and then you make it all the same as me. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to music. I'm listening to Etsy Consultant, etc., etc. On we go. Right. I've just paused it because have you noticed anything on this? I've sped this up. So this now is 1 minute, but it's showing 20 minutes of action. So this is me just working away, making all my items. Right. What do you see there?
Dougie.
The dog hasn't moved.
Yeah.
You've got a Labrador called Dougie. He's lying down at the bottom there. This is sped up. Look how lazy he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's moved there. Right, so I'm making everything. And this is what our working day looks like when you're an online seller and you're selling small personalised gifts. And this goes on, well, I'll show you the timeline. It comes to an end in a minute.
Do you know what I've noticed, though, in yours? Everything's quite far away. I've put I stand right in front of the heat press, and everything that I need, I can put one arm out and do it, and then I tape stuff on the sublimation desk, then close it.
You know what? You can't sit down, can you? When you're making, you have to move around. Right. So 20. We're now at 20 past 11. So that tells you something. Making the stuff is a lot quicker, I think, than designing the stuff. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would, yeah. But it's not my favourite, though. It's not my favourite.
It's not your favourite. I love making stuff. So I hate designing. I love making. Right, so I've made everything. Now you can see that table there. That is all. So we talked about how many orders was it? Was it 92 orders or something like that? So that's what 92 orders looks like for us for a day. So by 20 past 11, everything's ready. Everything's ready, and all I've got to do is dispatch it. So I'm packaging it and I'm putting it in our raw mail sacks ready for collection. And so there we go. Look, there's the table. There's all our items ready to go out. Now, obviously, I'm giving little bits away about our shop there. 3:30 p.m. It's ready to go. So I've dispatched everything. There's the box I was talking about earlier.
How many sacks is that?
That I think is 7 or 8.
And how many items was it? Was it
92? I think it was 92 orders. Now they're not full sacks. So this is where we'll differ from you, mate. I'm just going to let this run through because that's basically the end of the video, and I'm take it off.
See, for me, that'd be 2 sacks.
Yeah. Well, why would it be 2 sacks? Go on, tell everyone.
Well, one for the eBay and Etsy ones that are on the Royal Mail app, and then the ones that I buy from Amazon.
Well, when you offer different delivery methods, first class, second class, tracked, special next day, you have to put items that are different delivery methods in different sacks. So if we've only got one order that somebody asked for special next day delivery and they paid for it, that goes in a sack on its own. It goes in the special next day delivery sack. So that's what I'm saying. Those sacks aren't full. That just means that we offer lots of different delivery methods. That's why we keep running out of sacks. Another bloody bugbear with raw mail. I don't deliver enough sacks. Anyway, right. So that's 3:30 now. Now between 3:30 and I would say 7:30 yesterday, I didn't do anything for work. I might have replied to a couple of messages because I'm walking the dog. I'm dealing with our little girl.
You sent me quite a lot of messages as well yesterday.
Yeah, we've got tea on the go. I'm putting her to bed on a Wednesday. We all tonight. And actually, after 7:30, I didn't do anything. So that was my full working day yesterday. 20 past 5 to 3:30. Now, before I went to bed, I made sure that all the messages we had in eBay, Etsy, and Amazon were dealt with. I always try and do that before I go to bed. So that was an extra 20 minutes. Okay. So what we're saying, 5:20 to 3:30, and then an extra 20 minutes. So in terms of my working day yesterday, we're looking at 12. So we're looking at 10 hours, 10 and a bit hours and a bit. Let's say 10 and a quarter. Plus, I'm going to say an extra half an hour throughout the rest of the night when I do messages and bits and bobs. So yesterday, 10 and 3/4 hours work. Now, obviously, in amongst that, there's a 20-minute break for like a bit of lunch. I'm making the odd coffee, etc., etc. So that is one of our quieter days, okay, in terms of the time of year. As you know, mate, it's fairly quiet time of year compared to some times of year. So that is my working hours yesterday. Now, normally, I would normally work an average, I would say, an hour a night as well. So some nights, especially Sunday and Monday, getting designs in for the weekend, I'll do 2 hours. So across the course of the week, I'll work an average. So my average is probably during the quiet times of year, I would say 11 and 3/4 hours. That's kind of what you've got to do, in my opinion, as an online seller to be successful and just to earn enough money to pay the bloody mortgage these days. Do you know what I mean? Now, what you won't now you made a good point, mate. You made a really good point a few weeks ago, and you said 11 or whatever many hours it was. If I work 11 and 3/4 hours on average Monday to Friday, and at the weekends I probably do about three hours a day, Saturday and Sunday. So an extra 6-7 hours on a weekend, right? But 11 and 3/4 hours working for yourself at home with your headphones on, like I've just shown people, with the bloody dog snoozing in the corner, is not the same as 11 and 3/4 hours working for a company, for a boss. Yeah. I think this is easier. So that might be it might appear to be quite a long working day, but for me, it doesn't feel like it compared to a normal job. And also, what's the one thing that we haven't got that I would much rather do? And as a result, I'd much rather do this What's the one thing we haven't got that other people have got that don't work themselves from home?
Freedom.
Freedom. Well, no, we have got freedom. What?
No, I'm sorry.
It's this, mate. It's this, and I know this is changing. We haven't got to go anywhere.
Yeah,
we haven't got to go on a bus, on a train. We haven't got to drive anywhere. We haven't got to sit in traffic for an hour. A lot of people spend an hour getting to work and then an hour getting back every day, sometimes more.
There's pros and cons. Like, I love it. I wouldn't swap. But if I don't think I'd go back into a regular job if I can help it. Now, who knows what happens in my business, but you never know. But I don't think I would choose to go back into work if I can help it. But the pros and cons, though, is stuff like sickness pay, annual leave. So there is pros and cons.
That's
to
true.
It.
Pension.
And also a big one for me that I think you deal better is sometimes it's hard if there's a problem on work. You sometimes keep that with you for a longer time, and it stays with you even when you finish your job.
And if something goes wrong, like we've spoke about in Amazon Weeks in particular, it's quite stressful because this is our living. And if you think you're going to get kicked off Amazon, bloody hell, you're pulling your out. Right. So that is a typical day at work for me. Now, some people might be thinking, where's Laura? What's she doing? Good question. Don't know. I asked myself this. No, I'm only joking.
We'll get that.
I'm only joking. Mate, I think I heard her shouting from upstairs. No, she probably works harder than me because she has our little girl a little bit more than me, which is hard work. And so I talked about greeting cards earlier. So obviously the sublimation process that I just showed people where we're using the heat press, anything that's sublimated, I do. She's now upstairs using our new fancy super duper printer, printing greeting cards. And we've started doing save the dates and invitations, which are selling really well. So she's upstairs doing another part of the business. And also she's responsible for creating new ideas, new products, new designs. So she's doing all that. It's like that. Have you seen Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
It's like upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah.
She's upstairs in the ivory tower doing all the fancy stuff.
Well, saying that, I remember.
I'm downstairs, the servant, on my feet all day.
I used to get frustrated with you, and it was quite funny because you're quite direct at times. And when we first started, I'd make a design and I'd go to you, do you think, and I used to send it to you, I'd go, do you think this will sell? And you used to always reply the same annoying way. I used to go, I don't know. I don't do all designs. And you said, I have no idea in our business what sells and what doesn't in terms of design. I don't know how to make a design. That's what Laura does.
Well, this is the thing, mate, because something that here's the thing. We could list, let's say, for example, we listed the exact same item as you. And I'm talking about the listing was the same, photos were the same, descriptions the same, everything's the same, title and tags. There's a chance that it might take off for you and it doesn't take off at all for us. Because obviously the algorithms that are at play, the Etsy, Amazon and eBay algorithms, they're different for us than they are for you. So for example, we'll ask Nick about this, because is it the case where the Etsy algorithm almost knows what our shop's about and knows what people buy from us, and therefore they're going to show that to more people compared to you, and vice versa? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if we list it, even though we both sell small handmade personalized gifts, I think there's a good chance that if we listed the exact same thing, it might take off for us and not for you. It might take off for you, not for us, because of the way the algorithm works. And that's why, mate, I'll go back to this. That's why I go back to this.
Yeah.
In terms of listing things, and you're asking me, will this sell? I don't know for you. I don't know.
And I mean from a design point of view. I mean, me and you never talked about, had a conversation about the design process, or you've never said to me, Paul, that's a really good design. Why didn't you add this? We've never had. You're really like not involved in that way. You'd say, I can ask Laura for you or something like that, but we've never had the design conversation.
Yeah. What I will say is, well, mate, that's why full credit to you, because we're a two-person business. I don't design anything. I've never designed any of our. I wouldn't know how to design. I wouldn't even know, because you do everything. You design, you list, you do the orders, you do everything. So your expertise, you could argue definitely that you're more of an expert than me, because you can do everything.
Yeah, well, I would say expert, but I do my best with it. I just throw stuff together, and my tactics, throw it together and see what lands. But mate, how strange is it if you think about you and Laura, that you've met each other, you can very, very compatible, and like your strengths just complement each other, where she can just do the designs and then you do the process.
Yeah, well, she's having to start doing a lot more of the process because of how busy on Etsy we've been with our new sort of our new niche, if you like, with greeting cards and invitations, etc. So that she's, because I'm really struggling to keep up and do everything else, so she's having to start doing that. So, mate, so that's what it looks like for me in terms of a day in the life. That was my timeline yesterday. Now, in terms of time limitations, because we were 92 orders on a Tuesday in the middle of August across the 3 selling platforms for us, and because of the way we hand make our items, well, hand print, I suppose, or hand press, it's quite a busy day just getting the orders out. So when I put time limitations on there's certain things that I didn't do yesterday. So I didn't get round to doing any kind of listing work. I didn't get round to do anything else other than orders, really, and just the little bits and bobs in the morning of applying your postage on raw mail, click and drop, things like that. So my day yesterday was purely order based. Laura did a lot of orders upstairs, and then obviously she had a little bit of time to do some creative stuff. So that's where we're at the minute. So I have every bit of empathy with you, where sometimes I say to you, "Oh, why don't you do this?" or "Why don't you do that?" or "Why haven't you sorted your about us section out on your Etsy shop?" Well, it's time, and when you've got to do everything, you've obviously got less than us in that sense.
Yeah, and then it's like a school running in the way, and then it's the clubs of the. Like Fred does rugby, he gets tutored and stuff like that. So it's just fitting everything in.
Yeah, and also you're getting up at 20:08. So
right, can you say something though?
Go on. So I've got a question about that. Go on.
Right,
go on.
I've got a caveat. Right, during COVID year, I was getting 80 to 100 sales per day, any given day, and then I shut it off at the weekend. And when I was doing that, I had to get up, and I was starting designing at 7 a.m. I remember that 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. I was working.
So you get what time? I mean, like, we don't want to bore people, but you have like, you're in bed at 8, 11, aren't you? Half 11 ish. I know you read. I know you're reading podcasts and all that, but midnight now. It's crept up to midnight. Right. What I'm getting at is, are you not tempted to get up an hour earlier Monday to Friday and just see? Because obviously you need your sleep, and you don't. Obviously, there's another side to it. There's a work-life balance, and there's also like mental health. So people that can work themselves into the ground, it can really affect them in a negative way, and that's not something that we want to encourage. But are you not tempted to get up an hour earlier just for a couple of weeks, see how you feel, see if it's impacted you negatively in terms of that stuff, and if it hasn't, what possibly that extra 5 hours a week could do for you? I am. And I think it's something that's going to have to be looked at into. So sometimes, because the business is an uptick at the moment, sometimes if I'm busy in the day, what I'll do is this evening, I will start tomorrow's orders. You'll do designs. Yeah. So you'll start doing the copying and pasting that I showed on my video. You're copying, you're pasting it into a design, you're putting it on your sheet ready to print. Yeah. So Fred likes to chill with me in the living room. So he'll be playing his game, or he'll be on YouTube, and I'll have my laptop on, and I'm doing designs, half in my business and half watching him and chatting to him, stuff like that. So, that makes sense. You're hot. you're half doing your designs.
Yeah.
Is that why Karen in Glasgow is getting sent key rings that were meant to go to someone else?
Yeah, I think me doing it in the evening is probably telling you that I don't like getting up.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. That used to be me. I used to be up later doing stuff. Now I'm up early doing stuff. It's just my day shifted. That's all it is. You're doing it late. I'm doing it early.
Yeah. So today, for instance, I did all today's designs last night because we're doing the podcast now. So I've got to make the time up somewhere.
Yeah. So can I ask you a question? So, that video that I showed people, that's the sublimation process, and I didn't show anything about what goes on upstairs. It's really just a printer, really good quality printer, and it's printing greeting cards. And it's quite an easy process, because obviously with the sublimation, mate, as you know, because you do it, you have to print the designs. You have to physically tape the blank items onto it. You have to physically put it onto a press and pull it and then take it off. You have to physically then, like I did with the flag, put the wooden dowel in and tie the sort of the faux leather strap on it, and then put it in the packaging. With the greeting cards and save the dates upstairs, even though Laura's there is still work to it, there's still packaging. She can potentially just press a button and the printer just prints over the next hour. It just prints all the greeting cards. Are you not tempted, because you're on your own and because obviously you want to maximize your profit and you want to maximize your sales, are you not tempted to start doing what we did about 18 months ago and start looking into other ways of making items? So instead of sublimation, are you tempted to start looking into other more efficient ways of making or printing personalized gifts to sell? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I am. I think not different ways to sublimate, because I'll still use the heat press, but I'm looking at different items to do. Yeah, and I think the thing that's damaged me, when we talk about smells that sells.
Yeah.
So do the same sort of item. I think I could be a little bit more. I'm not diverse enough. I haven't got a big enough range. I think I've pigeonholed myself into one section of a market, and I think I need to expand that.
Well, that's something that we can ask Nick about, because a lot of people on YouTube talk about your shop. You should have a niche. I'm actually interested in that, because I would say that mine and Laura's shop, we haven't niched down. We basically sell a wide range of personalized gifts for a wide variety of occasions. And actually, when we started selling greeting cards and now we sell save the dates and invitations, I think a lot of people might have said to us, open a new shop. But we didn't. We just listed greeting cards out of the blue. We've never done them before, and invitation save dates in the existing shop, and they've done quite well for us. They've done really well. So I'll be interested to see what he says about that. I'm wondering whether it's because we've got quite a good bit of trust with Etsy and we sell quite a bit, whether it doesn't matter so much for somebody like us to start selling other things in our shop as it would to, say, somebody like you who's got slightly less order profile. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I remember years ago when we first started, I was contemplating adding some like naughty items with like banter of like language or like adult themed slogans and stuff like that. And you said you probably, if you're going to do something like that, separate the shop, because separate it from having like professional and nice and then something a little bit more adult themed. That makes sense.
Yeah, I know we wouldn't put that sort of stuff in ours, because I suppose that's the thing. I suppose that's what our shop does. We go after a certain sort of type of customer, I suppose.
Yeah.
We go after, like, really, let's be honest, we go after sort of females throughout their life. So probably from late 20s onwards, where, they're meeting somebody.
People that are looking for special touch to their special occasion.
Yeah, any occasion. So they get, at some point, they're potentially getting married. They're having Valentine's Day. Obviously, they maybe have a baby. They want to give birthday gifts to their family and their partners. They know people at work that are retiring. That's the sort of thing that I suppose that we're going after. So that maybe what helps us, rather than niching niching down.
Yeah.
It's almost like a type of customer and a style of things we sell. And that's why we wouldn't go into the adult-y, or the sweary on the mugs or the Coke, whatever it is, thing, because we're very much sentimentally romantic-y, that sort of stuff. I suppose that's thing. Right. So go on then. Just give us a very quick brief overview of what your day looked like. So was it very similar to mine, but just on a different time scale, a little bit later in the day?
Well, I can relate to your day if it wasn't the summer holidays. The summer holidays for me are a little bit different. I don't really enjoy. I enjoy being around Freddie and stuff, and I love that. But it's hard.
Careful! I think he's watching.
Yeah.
Wait, were you about to say I don't really enjoy being around?
No, but the business and Freddie sort of clash, because Freddie just. A lot of people think because I'm self-employed and I work from home, I can do anything I want. And Freddie sees me at home and he thinks, let's play, let's go out, let's do so. And it's like, no, I've still got a bit of a job. So I think he gets frustrated. So in the summer holidays, the tactic is just get the job done for the summer holidays, get through the day, try and make him happy, but also get the work done. When he's in school, things are a lot more serious for me and they're a lot more, let's go.
Let's go. Let's really put.
It's really hard.
No, I understand that. Yeah, we'll have that from next year. Well, we'll have that from Christmas onwards because our little girl's at nursery at the minute. In fact, it's the very last day today. So she starts preschool where basically she's going to be off school holidays, and so we're going to have that problem. We're going to have that quandary moving forwards. But so it's a real life issue, isn't it? It's a real life issue. So anybody watching who sells online, what does your working day look like, and how many hours are you putting in a day, and what sort of things are you doing? How are you splitting your day up? Because I mean, for example, we'll get into it with Nick because he's got some very strong opinions on social media, hasn't he?
Yeah. Is he got the same mantra of waste of time?
Yeah, so I'm wondering, the reason I'm asking people is what does your working day look like, and how many hours you're putting into different things? It's like, what percentage of the time are you putting into things like social media versus listing things, versus getting your orders out, versus designing new items? Do you know what I mean? Does it change throughout the year? Does it change throughout the week? I'm really interested to know. It's quite easy. It's quite easy for us because I get the orders out, and when that's done, I move on to listing. They're my main two jobs. I do social media, but only if there's 10 minutes left in the day for me to do it. Whereas
I think you and me mum get a little bit frustrated at me because I think you're quite ambitious with your business, and when my mum pops over, I think she sees what I do, and I think she thinks I can do a little bit more. But for me, I just want to have a good work-life balance. I want to work hard. I want to be able to always have money. I always want to go for meals, just something nice. But I'm quite simple with life, to be honest with you. I'm not quite an extravagant person. So as long as everything's okay, I'm happy. I'm not trying to be super ambitious. I'm not looking for huge money that I have to commit huge lot of time.
Yeah, more money, more problems.
Yeah. Who said that, James?
I don't know. Right, mate. Is it? Oh, good. Yeah. Well, that's true for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, mate. Let's move this to a finale. Now before we go on to quick fire questions, I do want to just remind everybody that we have got Nick, aka the Etsy consultant, coming on our show. He's going to be joining us live, and it's Thursday, the 17th of September, 2:25 p.m. UK time. Do you know what? I couldn't believe it. He's given us an hour of his time. It's unbelievable. I can't. You have to pinch yourself because obviously we'll have to meet up with him. I've said to him first 5-10 minutes, and then obviously just make sure the connection's okay and everyone can hear everyone. And then we're going to go live. And we're going to have a good 45-50 minutes of pure gold, gold, as he would say. And I agree with him.
I'm Gonna wear a tuxedo and everything.
Are you gonna? Why don't you dress like Nick?
Yeah.
White shirt.
Yeah.
Mate, don't do that. It'd be freaked out. It'd be.
He's just gonna go. He's just gonna go. You wake up at 9 o'clock and you're self-employed.
Mate, how would you feel if I bring that up?
Yeah.
If I say to Nick, Paul gets up at 8:20 every every day, and he moans he hasn't got enough time in the day to do anything, what would you say to him?
Spend huge quantities of time in Weatherspoons.
Yeah, or playing chess online.
Yeah, he wakes up at 9. He's in the pub by 10:30, and Paul's wondering how to grow his business.
He'd go to town. Well, we'll find out, won't we?
I'm just gonna lie.
No, mate. Authentic, mate. That's our thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll say one last thing about Nick, aka the editing consultant, before we go on to quick fire questions. And I think this is fantastic. I think this is amazing as well. When he said to us, "I'm happy to come on the show," he said, "You can I'll either come on and not know what you're going to ask me, so I'm going to come on effectively blind, or you can send me the questions in advance. It's completely up to you." And now we're not going to tell him. He's going to come on the show. He has no idea what we're going to ask him or what people that are going to email us or comment are going to ask him. Now that is a signal of confidence, isn't it, in what his knowledge is and what his expertise is? Because I think a lot of people in his position might say, I mean, you know what politicians are like, for example, they'd be like, "Oh, I need the questions in advance." There was none of that. So it's honestly, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be an amazing show.
I like what really drew me to, like, I think when I watch content creators and their tactic is always say something bigger and better than your last show. And then in the end, they're just making up stuff to fill content gaps. I like the Etsy consultant because he just sticks to the core messages.
All right, mate. Bloody hell. I'm going to have to put together another highlights package here.
But he sticks to the core.
What just happened? I didn't hear it. Did you hear it?
Right.
What just happened?
Right. I hope he bullies you next week.
I've just heard a bit of delay by it. Do you know? Well, that's my main worry, because I'm so used to gonging you. Can you imagine if Nick's given an in-depth answer and I just automatically go to hit the gong button by accident, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. Imagine if I gonged the Etsy consultant.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit back. That is not going to happen. By the way, that is not going to happen.
But you can gong me.
Mate, he's got more knowledge and expertise in his little thumbnail than either of us have when it comes to selling on Etsy. So yeah, I can gong you and not him, or 100%. Right, quick fire questions, mate. Let's do it. Let's get into it. How many? Well, we already know, don't we? How many sacks do you send through raw mail every day? Ish. I'm talking about a normal day. We're not on about Christmas. Two. What do you think? I'm not going to say it. I'm going to wait till the show to bring up delivery method upgrades.
Yeah.
Right. The reason we send more than you, not only we do have more orders, but we offer more delivery methods. Are you planning on changing that anytime soon?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, especially on Etsy.
Fair enough. Right. Next one. I'm interested in this, mate. Do you monitor your sales stats to smell what sells, or is it just instinct? So we talked earlier about smelling what sells. And we said that we both try and do it. We both try and lean into what's selling and help our shops grow in that way. So what I want you to write on the screen is stats or instinct. Do you look into the stats, or is it just instinct when it comes to smelling what sells and what to sort of list and which direction to go in?
Very simple, that.
instinct. Yeah, same for us.
I know what you're trying. I think if you're in a huge company that's selling volumes of
I
stuff,
agree. Yeah,
I just see a pattern as I'm going in the orders, and I go the same item.
Yeah, we're only doing 90 to 100. Well, we did 92 orders on Tuesday, so that's what we're doing at the minute. It's quite easy, isn't it, when you do that many orders, and also when there's only two of you, you just have a chat, and obviously when there's just you spot the patterns, don't you? You don't really need to look at the stats to know what's selling. You just get a feel for it. Okay, final question, mate. If you had an extra hour every day, in no more than 3 words, what work would you? So, what type of work, what work category would you spend it on? Now, my answer is based around what I do in our business. So, bear in mind, Laura creates all of our new designs and products. So that side of things is out for me. I can't put that because I just don't do that. So if you had an extra hour every day, no more than 3 words, what work category would you spend it on? So what would you do? What would you spend it on that you would think would help you grow your business? Listing. So I've put list more, you've put listing quality. So quantity and quality.
Yeah. So I think a lot's changed in the last 5 years of algorithm, AI, and a lot. So the bulk of my listings were from 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I've not upgraded them, not updated them, not done that. So there's a backlog of inefficient listings. So I think if I had to, I'd go there. And it's easier to create more listings. So I'd like to go back and do that.
Yeah. Well, that's dead listings. Well, that's another thing we're going to ask Nick about. What is a dead listing? What is it? And how quickly can you move them out your store? Right. Next week, mate. Next week is eBay week. eBay week. Right. This is the topic. eBay watchers, but no sales. What should we be doing? What should we be doing? So on eBay, there's a thing. Well, I suppose it's the same as favorites on Etsy, isn't it? Where people can sort of click like on a listing, and I think it saves it on their eBay account, and they can go back to it. So there's plenty of people online that say that they've got loads of watchers but no sales. So we're going to discuss, whether we're in that situation for a start, and if we are, what we're going to do about it, because we're on a bit of a drive, aren't we, to improve eBay, because it's been so rubbish for both of us the last couple of years. So we're going to discuss what other people are saying you should do, and what we're going to be doing in that situation. And obviously that will naturally go on to a conversation of probably about eBay visibility, and sort of the things that you can do we think you can do to improve that. So that's next week. Before we go, if anybody's got, don't forget to like and subscribe. You will be notified, hopefully, then of when we're on. And obviously, there's more reason than ever now to like and subscribe and join us. And if anybody has got any questions for Nick, aka the Etsy consultant, our live show with him is Thursday, the 17th of September. And he's coming in blind. He's happy to answer anything. Fantastic. Well, obviously Etsy related. Fantastic. Right, mate. Before we go, anything to say? Anything to add?
No, not really, mate. I think that was quite an in-depth podcast, that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah, we're done, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And we look forward to seeing you here next week.
Bye-bye.